Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. And Chubb will try the middle here. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 31 yards there and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The Browns at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play, because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
He'll find Schwartz complete right side.
And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns.
From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through.
And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead.
Well, they had the great field position to start that opening drive. They only get 3 out of it, but still they get 3. So maybe kind of a win for the offense, Charles, and kind of a win for the defense as well.
Yeah, I would say win-win seems to sum the whole thing up, because where that ball was placed to start, that's tough on a defense, and they held them to 3. Now, if you're the offense, you're thinking to yourselves, how do we open up the playbook later on in this game and turn this 3 into 6s down the stretch?
Here we go. On 1st down, Garoppolo.
Now into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled. No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Watson got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1.
Got a man, and Schwartz complete.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run it again with Chubb. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They'll run with Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here. No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys stepped up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen. And they need into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. They're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception. They go up the middle with Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Watson. Open man, here's Schwartz, complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps. And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback
And they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Play action. Garoppolo in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They felt they got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Chubb will get the call, running left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. They'll try the air now with Watson. Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead.
He'll take this to the 46.
And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Eight yards to go on 2nd down.
They run again with Harris. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the 36, Watson
going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he stopped immediately there. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Under pressure, they got him again.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Steelers send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Take it at the 37. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Watson off play action. And that is incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson dumps this to his running back, Chubb.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the 50, it's Watson.
Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz. And he is going to have a Browns first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw again on second down. Watson.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by John Johnson. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Got his man. It's Thornton. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
They were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now it's Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed, but that was really well designed there.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns use the short field to get in for 6.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead is now 24.
And they'll accept that penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Garoppolo now. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They hand this off to Harris. We'll get this to about the 38.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Garoppolo. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
Now Chubb on 1st down, able to work his way forward for about 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 42.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And again, it's Chubb. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Browns on 3rd down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he fires one that's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. first down throw, Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line.
119 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And Watson's going to throw it here. Touchdown!
David Njoku,
his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good.
And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And they take a knee. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you?